because that's how I roll. My whole team to use Teamzy at the very least, if they can't commit to boot camp, but I really, really, really want the daily CRM. I just got re-involved, so thanks for organizing this stuff because I've been slacking my ass off. So got re-energized, do my power hour CRM every day, but I really, really, really want to push my people to do that. So can they if they don't do the boot camp for whatever reason, I suggest that number one, can they do the daily CRM? Can they do that as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about that. So we're recording now. So one thing I was just going to say to Stephanie is, hey, Stephanie, if that worked for 10 years, you haven't had a peanut M&M because of the $500 bet, you should bet me $500 you won't go a week without using Teamzy.
I like how you roll, my friend.
Just saying. Okay, so anyways.
Here's the thing, because he sees everything. Oh, I just got played.
We're just having some fun. All right, but
all right, it's on, my friend. It's on because it's like, all right, that's the patient. Look how red I am.
I didn't say every day, just you can't go a whole week. That's all. All right. So,
my friend, what do I have to do? A year? Is it a year? A year without? I have to do it weekly for a year. Use Teamzy. Okay.
There you
go.
If
not, $500. Okay, that's my bet.
There you go. Good. I love it. All right. So guys, for those of you coming onto the call on replay, you're wondering what the heck is happening. We're just having some fun. My name is Eric Johnson, creator and CEO of Teamzy. Excited to be with you today. And Stephanie asked me to come on to talk to you just briefly about what Teamzy is and how it's going to help you in your business. And I would love to spend like 3 hours training you guys, but she's also twisted my arm and said, don't do that. So I'm going to keep it as brief as I can. For those of you who haven't seen Teamzy, it's a CRM software specifically designed for your Purium business. Okay. And it is designed for people like me who don't like using CRM software and who don't like technical things. It's super easy to use. It's going to, basically what it does is it takes all the thinking and planning out of your business. All your contacts are organized in one place, and Teamzy will present to you who you need to connect with every single day based on your income goal. So you put in your income goal. I'll show you how to do this in a second. You put in your income goal. It tells you exactly what to do every day to hit it, who to connect with. I'll tell you what to say to people to start the conversations. It's all logged as you go. Nobody ever falls through the cracks. It makes doing this whole thing really fun. And it's based on the concept of relationship marketing. So when you use the Teamzy CRM and you apply the Teamzy philosophy, you'll never feel like an icky salesperson. You'll never damage friendships or alienate friends or family because you're going to be sharing the love with this system. And people will absolutely be delighted to talk to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to bring you in and show you how to set up Teamzy and how to crush a power hour. Kind of explain a little bit of this relationship marketing concept as we go. Okay, but the most important thing I want you to understand is it's designed to make your life easier, not more complicated. It's going to save you a ton of time because you'll get everything done in less than 1 hour a day. Okay, and you're going to have fun doing it because you'll never be icky. Okay, so let me just share my screen with you really quick. Oh, and there's another thing. Kiki was just asking this. So I want to make sure you guys all understand this. If you go to teamzy.com, it's spelled like the word team, Z-Y, teamzy.com, click on Start Trial. You can get a free trial of Teamzy for 30 days. It's absolutely free for 30 days. We don't ask for your credit card number or anything weird because I want you to use it for 30 days and really get a ton of value out of it. Okay? And
then tell them, I'm a statistics girl, so in 90 days, even if they don't do the boot camp, tell them the statistics. How many you have? You have 9 new brand partners. Tell them that.
Yeah. So our people who have been using Teamzy for 90 days, that have been actively using it for 90 days, in that time they averaged 21 new customers and 9 brand partners. Okay. So it's not just a feel-good kumbaya. Oh, we're going to do relationships and love on people. It actually gets great results. It's predictable results. Okay. So once you get your free trial started, so going to get your free trial, that's a no-brainer. Okay, you're not obligated to continue after the 30 days. It just ends. You don't even have to put your credit card in. But when you come into your free trial, it's going to bring you into the setup wizard. It's designed for people like me who aren't very technical, so it's very easy. It leads you through the setup, and I've got it on my screen here. Let's just go through it real quick. So the first thing we're going to do is set an income goal. Okay, we're going to set an income goal, and this is the income level you'd like to be at 12 months from now. It's a really simple interface. It's a slider. What's your income goal? Okay, 500 grand says, whoa, Nelly. All right, so my goal was 150,000 when I started my business, so that's what I'm going to put in as an example. I'm just going to put it right there. So the goal to get to $150,000 by next year, Teamzy says I need to connect with 9 people, 9 prospects every day, 6 customers, and 4 brand partners on my team, 19 people a day. I'm going to show you in a minute. That's about 15 minutes working Teamzy, honestly, once you get used to it. Okay. And that, by the way, is 5 days a week, not 7 days a week. We're not insane. We want you to have a life. So that, just so you know, the Teamzy goals are based on a 250-day year, which assumes you'll take some weekends off and maybe a vacation or 2. Okay. Because you're going to win those free vacations from Purium, right?
Yeah.
Totally. All right. So 150,000 is my goal. Once you get the goal you want, click continue. Okay. And it takes us to the next step, which is getting your contacts into Teamzy. I don't want you chasing around pads of paper, sticky notes anymore, or spreadsheets that you haven't updated in 6 months. You need to have all your contacts in one place, organized. Okay. So we'll get them all into Teamzy, and they'll live in your phone. They'll be in your computer. You always have access to them. Okay. What I recommend you do first, and there's some little videos here with some help. If you click on these, first, you're going to want to go to your back office and get your brand partners imported. Then you're going to want to get your customers imported. And then one of the things I love about Teamzy is you can get your Facebook friends, your complete list of Facebook friends into Teamzy. So that you're not going like this through Facebook Messenger trying to think about who to connect with or losing people that way. They'll all be here. You start and finish in Teamzy so that everybody is organized, nobody falls through the cracks.
And then may I interrupt? What is the process, or what do you recommend? Because we're always adding new people to Facebook. So if I go and re-upload, does that overwrite the old list?
If you re-upload your Facebook list at a later date, it only adds the new people.
Great.
So Teamzy will read everyone who's already been imported in the past and only bring in the new people. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty cool that way. But you know, the best thing is to add people daily in Teamzy. I'll show you that when we're demoing it in a second as you're meeting friends. But if you fall behind, you can definitely do another list import like that. And again, it just brings in the new people.
Okay.
Okay, so once we get all our contacts into Teamzy, really there's only one more step for setup to really get Teamzy ready to go for you. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to click right here where it says rank and label contacts. The last step is to rank and label our contacts. And what this means is that we're going to rate the people that we know on a 5-star scale, like you're rating a restaurant on Yelp. It's real simple to understand, right? This is super important, because if you don't prioritize relationships, you cannot ever prioritize your time. Okay? If you don't prioritize relationships, you can't prioritize your time. With relationship marketing, which is the system Teamzy's built on, you spend more time with the best people. You need to invest more time with the best people. Have you guys heard of the 80-20 rule? 80% of your business will come from 20% of your relationships. Okay? Stephanie, how many Facebook friends do you have?
See, I have too many. I have close to 4,700.
4,700. No, it's fine. She's got
so my problem is it's hard for me to rank them because I'm like, oh Lord, I gotta go through them all. That's a process.
Okay, so no, it's a good example. 4,700 people on her Facebook feed, Facebook friends list. So if she threw these in here without ranking them, you did. So here's what happens. It'll take her, let's say that she has a friend, Sally, who is a hot prospect, right? It might take her 6 months for Sally to come up in her power hour if she doesn't prioritize Sally, because she's got so many relationships. So what I want you guys to do is when you put in your list, everyone's going to come in. Look, I have a brand new list here. Everybody's 3 stars. See that? Everybody starts as a 3-star, which is fine because the majority of your people will stay at 3 stars. But what I want you to do is scroll the list and just look for those people that you feel good about. And there's not going to be that many of them. Okay? You're just going to go down and go, oh yeah. And you're just going to give 4s and 5s to the people you feel good about. Okay? You don't have to spend a lot of time here, but this is like moving into your dream home and never unpacking the dishes and wondering why you never have a great home-cooked meal. Okay? So we're just going to get you moved in. Once you've done this once, you never have to plan again. Teamzy will automatically create your list every single day, and it brings the higher ranked people back more often. So let me explain how these numbers work. A 5-star is somebody most likely to become a customer or brand partner, or they're already on your team, they're already a customer, and they're rock stars. 5-star people are your best friends and your closest family. They show up on your list every 30 days. They come back every 30 days. You'll get a reminder just to connect. Okay, you're not connecting with them to try to sell them or recruit them. You're just connecting to make their day. I call it the make someone's day mindset. And that's where you need to live with relationship marketing. This list that's presented to you each day, your goal is just to make their day and say hello, get them to smile. Okay? And I'll explain why we do that in a minute. Excuse me, 4-star people. These are someone likely to become a customer or brand partner with a little bit of nurturing. These are your friends and family also. These are your good relationships, maybe not your closest circle, but they're good relationships. Those are the 4-star people. They're going to show up every 60 days. Every 60 days. 3-star people could go either way. You just really don't know. Maybe you don't even remember who they are. They're just on your list. They show up every 90 days. So they're getting a little bit lukewarm. Every 90 days they come up, which is cool. So in Stephanie's example, she's got 4,700 people. If she was working, now that she's got a $500 bet on the line, she's going to be super consistent. And she will be able to cycle through that list of 4,700 people a couple times a year. No problem. But which is cool because now she's in contact with them. Nobody falls through the cracks. But the few hundred people that are her closest people, her team, her hot prospects, they're going to be showing up multiple times a year. She's going to be touching them 5, 6, some of them 10, 12 times a year. And that's because she's ranked them and it's going to be cycling through her list for her automatically. She doesn't have to think or set follow-ups. All she does is turn on Teamzy each day and goes for it. Does this make sense? So that's why it's really important to do this. Now, if you're a little intimidated by it, like I said, just go through and cherry pick your 4s and 5s. I recommend an adult beverage and some nice relaxing music and just make it an event and get it done.
Tonight's the NFL draft, so we can watch that and watch the draft.
Totally. Yeah, totally. Okay, so once you've done this, now to actually change somebody's rank, you just click it. So easy. It just changes it. You can click them up. You can click them down. If you see somebody who shouldn't be on your list, you don't want them in there, you just hit the trash can and delete them. Okay, so you can very quickly work on this list and you can come back anytime. If you don't finish, you can come back anytime. You come to the team page. The team page in Teamzy is where your full CRM lives, where your whole list is. You can come to the team page.
And this is all a website. They don't, you don't have an app. I just tell people I have it open on my phone all the time. We have
a mobile website for your phone, which works great. So you can always have access to it that way. Yep.
Yeah. And Adina, they have instruction on how to import your contacts. So you're good.
Oh yeah. All the help you need. So for those of you who like to help yourselves, we've got this help center over here with FAQs, videos, everything you could ever want to get started. But the biggest thing I want you to see is this little help circle on the bottom right. It floats around on every screen in Teamzy. Excuse me, wherever you are, it's there. You just click that and ask for help. My team will help you. For those of you who are super intimidated by the technology end of it, they can actually schedule a one-on-one Zoom with you and they'll walk you through it. They can even, if you give them permission, take control of your computer and you can just let them set you up. And they do that all the time, so don't worry about that. Okay. All right. So let's just talk real quick about, excuse me a second, I'm losing my voice.
Adina, since you're 9 months pregnant, I suggest you do that. Just schedule time with one of his team. Adina's about to give birth, so she's going to do the please do this for me method.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, what's really neat about Teamzy is once you set it up, which now we're ready to do a power hour, you can do it in little gaps of time. So ideal is to set an hour in your schedule and crank it out every day, but you can do it in little gaps of time. So Adina, if you've got 5 minutes, you can pull out your phone, connect with 3 people, and then go back to your day because your day's going to be nuts for a little while. I understand. I have 4 kids. So that's kind of the neat thing so if let's say your goal is 20 people a day, you could do that 3 or 4 times a day and be done and be consistent and creating a lot of stuff, a lot of momentum. Okay, so now that we're set up, let's take a look at the dashboard. This little section up here is just for new people to help you get set up, okay? Today's activities, these are the goals that you set with your income goal. So you can see my goal here is to connect with 9 of my prospects, 6 customers, 4 brand partners on my team. I've also got a goal to invite 3 people, okay? And to add 3 people. You can see I did one already, added Stephanie already to my list today. What are these goals? Okay, so prospects, customers, brand partners, these are called connects. These are connects goals. Our goal is just to connect with them. And the whole basis of relationship marketing is if you want to deepen a relationship, you have to invest time and connect with somebody. That's it. That's how you deepen a relationship. So when somebody comes up, you can see on my Power Hour list, Stephanie's the next person up. I'm going to take a second, not even a lot of time, a few seconds to connect personally with her. And as I do that consistently, I build the relationship. As relationships and trust build, your pipeline will fill. That's just the way it works. Does it make sense? Some people, just so you guys understand this concept, you all have people who already trust you. There are people who already trust you. Those are going to be your 4s and 5s. You're going to talk to them more because they are closer to joining you because there's already trust built. Does it make sense? The rest of your list, you may have to invest some time in. That's why the Teamzy system constantly prepares the next batch, if that makes sense. Okay. So my goal here is to connect with prospects, connect with my customers. I'll explain why that's so important in a second, and then connect with your team. The goal for invites, this is different than connecting. I'm actually inviting somebody to join the team. I'm inviting them to a 3-way call. I'm inviting them to purchase the product because we had a great discussion about what their needs are, and I'm recommending a product for them. An invite is specific to building the business, and so my goal out of 19 conversations is that I will invite 3 people. Does this make sense? Because I'm not going to invite people who I haven't uncovered a need or got some interest from. I'm going to keep working on those relationships. And then ads are just new people that I'm meeting and putting on my list. Okay, always adding fresh water. Think of your business, your group of relationships like a beautiful lake. You need fresh water coming in. Fresh water coming in, or else it gets stagnant. And that's when I talk to so many leaders who have built a successful team and then they feel like they're stagnant because they have stopped building. Make sense? Okay, so those are my goals. Right here in the center is the Power Hour. This is where we work. This is designed to make you super efficient for a short amount of time, which is all we have, right? Short amount of time. So the left side has my lists: prospects, customers, brand partners, and then specific follow-ups. I'll talk about those in a second. Each one of these lists only shows me 5 names at a time on purpose. This keeps me focused, keeps me from skipping too much in the list or overthinking. It also keeps me from getting overwhelmed by the fact that there might be 4,700 people on this list, right? Just keeps me focused on the 5 that I need to do. Now, of course, you have your full list of everybody on the team page. Power Hour is just here designed to help you work. So the right-hand side is where I log the communication as it's happening, so I don't have to come back and do homework later. Nobody likes to do homework later, okay? We're just going to log it as we go. So Stephanie's the first person on my list. I'm going to connect with her. And I'm going to send her, you can connect however you like to. You can log just about everything in Teamzy. I'm going to use Facebook Messenger to connect with her. That's how she and I actually talk, is via Facebook Messenger. So I've got Facebook open right here in a separate tab, ready to go. The problem is, this is where I used to get stuck. What the heck am I going to say to start this conversation? Anyone get stuck there? And what some people will do is they'll go read her entire Facebook or Instagram feed and try to figure out what to say that's so perfect. I want you guys to know that's a waste of your time and energy, because what if she doesn't even respond? I spent half a day messaging her. I just want to fire one off real quick. So look, I've got it all set up for you with scripts. 16 years of research, working with tens of thousands of people. We've got these scripts dialed in. They work great. So you're going to click right here in the center of the connect box, click on scripts and just borrow one of mine. So I'm going to grab the first one on the list, connect number 1. It says, "Hi Jane, just stopping by to say hello. How are you? I hope your day is awesome." Super simple. So watch, I'll copy the script, and then you don't have to, this is kind of an extra step, but I like to paste it in Teamzy so that I can edit it and not accidentally send it with the wrong name, which I've done. So I've changed the name to Stephanie. I'm going to put a couple of emoticons in here. Come on, computer, go my speed.
So just as a side, it's funny. Before using Teamzy, I messaged people, or when I was doing this exercise, it came up where I'd messaged them before, and it was like a book about sharing the opportunity, blah, 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 like years ago, and they never responded. And then when I did your method, all of a sudden everyone responds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, imagine that. And also too, isn't it the algorithm in Facebook? Like they think now that since just, it could be a little ping pongy, and that's what I like to say a lot. Then the algorithm, I already then show up, or we start showing up in each other's news feed more often. Is that correct?
Yeah, if you've had a messenger exchange with somebody, Facebook considers you extremely relevant to that person, so they'll see all your posts.
Right. So that also happens. And so just for the new people on here, you're thinking, but how am I going to tell them about this, that, and the other? Facebook is going to consider you guys relevant to one another, and they're going to start seeing your posts.
Yep. So when you just say hi, and if somebody gives you just a thumbs up back and you feel like that's a rejection, now they're getting your educational posts and they're starting to get to know you better. When you connect again, when they come back on Teamzy in a few months, automatically, they'll probably be warmer. And you'll be surprised how much warmer, and that's why, because now they're interacting with you on social media more and you don't even realize it. So, so let me show you how to do this. So now I've got this script just the way I want it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually copy this and send it in in Facebook, because you have to actually send messages through Facebook. But it only takes a second. Here we go. There she is. I'm going to send this message. Boom. See how easy this is? So the message has been sent. Again, don't.
Got it. And look how smiley I was. And I knew
see, it worked. Don't overthink. Just do it. Right. Just fire these off. Okay, so the way you log this in Teams, you see the big blue button that says log connect? Oh, I have to just tell it was a Facebook message. Sorry. Log connect. So now she's off my list, gone. She'll come back automatically in 30 days if she doesn't respond. No big deal. And I've got 1 done, 8 left. The next person on my list is Jay. What I would do is just use the same message again and change the name. Okay. You can reuse this message. And people are like, well, what if they know? I mean, this is such a generic, basic message. Like if you send it to 2 people and they're like, oh, Eric said hello and wished me an awesome day too. It's not like a weird thing, right? It's just a hello. And that's the idea, is it's easy for them to respond to this. You know, to Stephanie's point, people weren't responding to scripts that were about the business. That's like, scripts about the business is like, here's my example. You guys ever watch TV and a random pharmaceutical commercial comes up for some condition you don't have? How relevant is that to you? It's not relevant because you don't have that condition. And telling somebody about a business or a product that you have not uncovered a need in their minds yet for is the same thing. Sometimes you'll get lucky. Someone will go, oh, I need that. I'm interested. Does that make sense? So this is a way to start a conversation so we can uncover needs. I'll talk about that in a second. So look, I've got this one. I just changed the name. Super easy. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to jump over here. I'm going to look up Jay. Okay. I'm going to send this message. Bam. Done. 2 messages sent. Log connect, 2 done, 7 left. I'm just going to bang down my list. Do you see how easy this is? Okay, pro tip on this. Some people will respond right away. Don't get into the conversation until you're done with all your outgoing messages. Just stay focused. It won't take very long, but you don't want to get sidetracked before you get it done. And again, if some do not respond, don't worry about them. You don't have to set a follow-up for them. They're in Teamzy. They're going to automatically come back again. Okay? They'll come back again based on their letter rank, their number rank. So when I'm done connecting with my goal for the day on prospects, I'm going to click over to customers. I'm going to just stay in touch with my customers the same way. Darlene comes up like she did. I'll go to scripts. I'll grab a customer. I'll grab a script for a customer. Something simple like this. Hi, Darlene. How are you enjoying the whatever product she's using? Send me an update. Let me know how I can be of help. So simple. Or my favorite one. This is my favorite one. What was her name? Darlene. Hi, Darlene. Just checking in to see if there's anything I can do to make your day. Okay. Simple. Okay. So you would send that the same way. Message them however you message them. Facebook, text message, Instagram, whatever you're using to connect with people. Okay. I don't recommend communicating with people via email. unless that's all you have, or unless you're texting them to tell them, check your email because I sent you an attachment, right? Because people just don't check it. I actually have, I took a screenshot the other day. Check this out. I got to share this with you guys real quick. Little tangent. I'm not going to do too many tangents, but I got to share this screenshot. My wife's phone was sitting there, and I said, "Can you take a screenshot of your home screen and send it to me?" She's like, "Why?" I said, "Because this is a great coaching moment for all my Teamzy people." She's like, "What are you talking about?" Hold on, I'm going to bring this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Is she like me and has 40,000 unread messages?
Look at this. Here's her home screen.
Yeah.
She has 17,710 unread emails and 121 missed phone calls. And look at how many messengers she's missed and how many texts she's missed. 0. This is just, and not to make fun of her, but she's typical of our society right now. People respond to messages on text, messages on Facebook. Some people who are in Instagram all the time will respond to those. So if you want people to respond, you got to communicate with what's easiest for them. Make sense? And the first thing that is my clue to any sort of trainer or teacher that is like still telling you to bang the telephone, I'm like, they have not been doing business in the last 5 years, right? Okay. Or maybe even 10 years. Let's get back in here. So we're going to message our customers. We're just going to stay in touch with them. Just going to stay in regular touch with customers. For those of you who don't understand how vital this is, staying in touch with customers is as important as prospecting. Okay? First off, it's just being a professional, right? Providing good service. But the second reason, this is the most pragmatic reason, is that if you're in regular contact with your customers, they will order more products and they will retain longer. Okay, if you're in regular contact with customers, they will order more products and they will retain longer. This is a statistical fact. Okay, why does Stephanie and Kiki want you guys all on Teamzy? Because they know you're going to enjoy it, and team volume is just going to go up because you're in touch with people, which is a win for everybody, right? Think about it this way. I love to give this example. I spent years waiting tables and bartending. How many of you guys have that experience? I almost feel like that should be a mandatory, they have mandatory military. I think we should have mandatory service in this country. It would be great. But imagine that you went out to dinner with a spouse or a loved one, somebody you care about, a special dinner, and it's amazing. Like you go to this amazing restaurant. It's gorgeous. Can you guys picture this? And the server comes over and it's the best service you've ever had. The meal arrives and it's absolutely amazing. It's delicious. It's everything you wanted this meal to be. And then you never see the server again. That's what happens with a lot of us when we lose touch of our customers. We bring them through this experience and then we leave them. Are you likely in that meal to order another glass of wine or get a dessert, or are you going to order more for your meal if you never see that server again? Of course not. Just being in touch, it enhances the service. People order more, they retain longer. Okay, just being in regular contact. The other reason that I want you guys in regular contact with your customer, how many of you would like more customers? All of us do, right? Where's the best place to get a new customer? Anyone know?
Your existing.
Yes, your existing customers. An existing customer is the best place to get a new customer. People who are using products and loving them are talking about them, right? How many of you are here because you were a customer who liked the products? They talk about the products, people can't help it. Then what happens? 82%, guys, 82% of North Americans make buying decisions based on a recommendation of a friend. So your customers are telling their friends about Purium. 82% of them are likely to purchase Purium now because of that recommendation. Are you getting introduced to those people? Well, if you're not in regular contact with customers, there's no way you're getting introduced to their friends. Does this make sense? You need to be in regular touch. You need to be in regular contact so that you can ask them, well, who are you talking about? You're doing amazing. I'm sure you've talked to people about Purium. Do you have any friends or family that need help? I'd be happy to take care of them. Connect me so I can get them some more information. Does this make sense? I honestly don't think if you've been in business and have a half dozen customers, that's all you need. You can create an entire business from those 6 people just by getting connected to the people that are already talking to. Okay. That's a whole nother training. I've got a few of those. So you're going to connect with your customers. Just go down the list. In my case, it's 6 people. Boom, 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 boom. 6 times. Just a little message. Let them know I'm thinking about them and to be present for them. Okay? They don't even have to respond, though, to feel the love. Make sense? Next, I'll go to my brand partners. Connect with my team. One-on-one. Remember what I said in the beginning. Deepening relationships only happens when you invest a little bit of time and connect with somebody. This is why you can't just have a page for your team or do a live Zoom for your team. They need to hear from you one-on-one from time to time. They need to feel that person. They need to see you investing personal time. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but it makes all the difference. We actually named the platform after this action. It's called Teamzy because we envisioned leaders investing in their team this way. So your first half of your power hour is super easy. It's just connecting with whoever's up next, prospects, customers, brand partners. Okay? The second half of your power hour, and by the way, for you brand newbies, this is all your power hour will be for the first 3 weeks because it will take a while to fill the next list, which is your follow-ups. So there's nobody on follow-ups automatically. You have to put them on follow-ups in Teamzy. So let me explain how this works. Remember, just connecting with people, that's automatic in Teamzy. We put people on our follow-ups list when we've uncovered interest and invited them. Okay? So let me give you an example. I messaged Stephanie just to, hey, how are you? She says, oh my gosh, that was so nice of you. Great to hear from you. And now we're having a little banter back and forth. And my goal in the conversation that I'm having with her is I want to find out some way I can help her today. Okay? Because now that I've made her day and brought a smile to her face, my next goal is to invest a little further and find a way to help her in any way. Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with my business.Maybe it does. So as I'm saying, well, what have you been up to? Send me an update. Oh my gosh, you just finished coaching lacrosse. How was the season? Right? What do you like better, coaching football or lacrosse? Like we're having a conversation, right? Listening. I mean, she mentioned something earlier, so that was enough for me to run with. Do you see how it's like, you just listen a little bit and you can have a conversation? Just for the record, what I'm not going to ask her is, hey, Stephanie, it's been great to connect. I haven't talked to you since high school. If money was not an object, what would you do with your life? If you could go on a desert island and, those weird questions you get on the internet when it says how to engage people in conversation, that's a bunch of junk. Don't do that. That's weird and creepy. Don't you guys think? Just have a conversation and find out what it is she needs help with. And you can listen for things like I go into deep in my boot camp. I do a week on kind of training how to listen to this stuff, but listen for complaints, listen for jokes. A lot of times positive people will still complain, but they make jokes about it instead of straight up complaining. Right? Just listen for those things in conversation. And maybe you can help with maybe you could recommend a book. Maybe you can connect them to somebody in your network who's an expert in that. Maybe they need a roofer for their house. They're complaining about the leak in the roof. Oh, I know a great roofer. Let me connect you, right? Find a way to help them. Maybe they're just, they can't believe you messaged them today because they're feeling really down and lonely because they're going through something. And now somebody's reached out and they need you to pray with them. That could happen. This stuff happens all the time when you're connecting with people. It's really powerful. And so I want you to see this as an opportunity to help them in some way. Now, as I'm having a conversation with her and we're catching up and I'm finding out what's going on in her life, I'm looking for some way I can help her on this call. I am going to, at some point in this conversation, I get to share my update. I get to tell her what I'm up to, right? Sometimes she'll make it easy on me and say, what about you, Eric? Enough about me. What about you? Most people don't do that. So you just got to say, oh, and so let me tell you what I've been up to. And you tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. Okay, write that down. Tell them what you do and why you're passionate about it. And so based on what I was hearing in the conversation, I will tailor this. If I'm hearing that they hate their job, I'm going to say, well, I don't know if I haven't talked to you in a while, but I quit my job 3 years ago. I work from home now, I work for myself. Wow. if they wish they could be with their kids more, then I would say, like if they told me they just dropped their kids off at daycare and they cried all the way to work, I'm going to tell them one of the cool things about what I'm doing is I get to be with my kids all the time because I work from home. It does make sense. So I'm going to tell them what I'm doing and why I'm passionate about it. I've been helping people get healthy. First, I got healthy. I was really unhealthy. I lost 60 pounds, got healthy, changed my life, and now I've found a passion for helping others do the same. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, those are examples. You're going to share it. This is what I do and why I'm passionate about it. Okay? And when I tell Stephanie what I do and why I'm passionate about it, her response 100% of the time is going to be something like, wow, good for you. Oh, that's great. Good for you. Okay? How many of you think that would be a pretty cool response to you telling them what you do for business? Yeah. Wow, that's great. Good for you. Instead of, oh, is that a pyramid thing? I don't want to talk about this. I'm running. I'm crossing the street. I don't want to know. Not another one of my friends pitching me one of these things. No, it's just like, oh, good for you. That's cool. You're helping people get healthy. That's great. And see, because you want that first response that you can just ask, well, is this something you'd like to learn more about? Would you like some more information about what I'm doing? You'd probably be great at it. Would you like to learn more? And Stephanie says, it's great catching up with you, Eric, but no, I'm not really interested in that right now.
The response I get sometimes is, that's awesome. I've been thinking about contacting you about that.
See? As you build trust, that's going to be more and more what happens. But if Stephanie, I'm just going to give you guys this example. If Stephanie says, no, thank you, that's awesome for you, but I'm not interested. I'm going to say something like this. Hey, no worries. Hey, it was great reconnecting with you. I really enjoyed our conversation today. And could you do me and she'll say, me too. Could you do me a favor? And could you do me a favor though, Stephanie, if you come across anybody who needs help in this area, somebody who's struggling, would you connect us? Because it's my passion to help as many people as I can. And I'd be honored to help your friends and family. Okay. You just plant that seed, because you know what? When she comes on my list again 3 months later, and I say, how have you been the last couple months? Now we're going to pick up where we left off, but I planted the seed. And as Stephanie pointed out 5 minutes ago, she's also watching my posts now for the last 3 months, because now they're in her feed and she's seeing what I'm doing. She's learning. And so now when I come back and I'm still interested, even though she said no, and I'm still having a conversation, she's starting to believe what I said, which is that I care about her as a person. Okay. And then I'm looking for ways to help people. So that trust is built over time. Now, when Stephanie says, on the other hand, sure, I'd like some more information. It sounds kind of interesting what you're doing. Now I'm going to invite her to something. I'm going to put it in Teamzy. I'm going to put her on my follow-ups list, and I'm going to follow up like a pro. Okay? So let me just give you an example. So we're messaging back and forth, and I say, what do you think? Would you like to learn some more about what I'm doing? She says, actually, yeah, I would like to learn some more. Perfect. Well, one thing we could do is, why don't we set up a call where I could introduce you to my mentor in the business, who's super mega successful. And it'd be a great opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about the business, and from somebody who's a real pro and who's helping me build mine. What do you think? Okay, great. So let's schedule it. So let's say we're scheduling a 3-way call. Okay. So here's how I'm going to do that in Teamzy. I'm going to look her up. She's not on my dashboard anymore because I already connected with her. So I'm going to use the lookup bar to find her. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the connect box by clicking the big blue button that says connect. And look in the bottom left of this connect box. See where it says invite? That's where I log my invite. So I'm going to take it from connect to 3-way call. Okay. And then I'm going to say, 3-way call. I don't even know. Went great. Whatever your notes are on this 3-way call, right? I'm logging that we had a 3-way call. And so what I'm telling her is, look, we're going to have this 3-way call. Great. And then I'll follow up, we'll have the 3-way call. I'll follow up tomorrow and see if you have any questions about the 3-way call and what we learned. So I want you guys to see right here where this little calendar is. This is where you set your follow-up for any day in the future. I'm setting it for tomorrow. This puts her on my follow-ups list. It actually takes her off the prospects list temporarily, and she's going to live in Teamzy on my follow-ups list. Does this make sense? So watch, when I log this, you can see that follow-up is now set. If I go to my dashboard again, I'll show you. Now I have an invite logged. See that invite's logged on my dashboard. And on my follow-up list, there's Stephanie. She's due tomorrow. Okay. So as I'm connecting with people and uncovering interest, I'm going to invite them to something. Then I'm going to put them on my follow-ups list. Once they're on my follow-ups list, this is the second half of my power hour is following up with the people on my follow-ups list. Okay. And you're going to follow up until they convert. Now, this is really important. I want you guys to understand this because this is where so many people disconnect. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up. 80% of sales happen between the 7th and 10th follow-up, which means you need to be following up 7 to 10 times. 7 to 10 times if you want to convert most of the people. And I've met maybe 1% of the people I've talked to follow up that much. And the two reasons I found that people don't follow up more, most people follow up 3 times, maybe 4, okay? The reason people don't follow up more is 1, they don't have teams yet, so they're just not organized enough. You know, chasing somebody for 3 or 4 months, they lose them. Number 2, they're worried about being annoying. They just don't want to be that person, right? They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to come off as annoying. But I want you to understand, I'm going to teach you right now. Do I have time? I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to teach you right now how to not be annoying when you follow up. People will thank you for it. They will love you for it. But you have to understand that if you really want to help people in this business, if you really want to help people, and 80% of them won't do anything until you followed up 7 to 10 times, you have to understand that the follow-up is the only thing you have that can help people. This is why my philosophy is that following up is an act of love. Following up is an act of love, okay? If you love people and want to help them, you follow up with them. If you give up on them for whatever reason you've invented in your mind that they're not interested because they haven't responded, you're telling them, I don't care enough about you to keep following up. That's what you communicate. And I will tell you that most people will not respond at all to the first 5 or 6 follow-ups. They won't even, it'll nothing but crickets. Not because they're not interested, not because they don't respect you, not because they're not excited, just because they've got stuff going on. Your priorities aren't necessarily theirs. Make sense? So what we're going to do is let me just show you how to do this in Teamzy. It's so easy.
I heard a statistic yesterday, or just a comment yesterday, that following up shows that the product you have has value. So people are going to pay and more, or not pay more, but they're going to value your proposition or product or whatever more by the fact you're following up, because it's a more professional thing to do.
People will be amazed when you do something consistently. They are amazed and respect it for sure. And it's how you build trust, right? So let me show you how easy it is to do follow-up. So when my power hour comes up tomorrow, I connect with prospects, customers, brand partners, just as I showed you. Then I go to my follow-ups list. Stephanie's due, so I'm going to send a follow-up. So what I'll do is, again, just go to scripts. I put my 10 follow-up scripts in here for you, numbered in order. You guys really cannot mess this up. If you're brand new to the business, you'll still come across as a pro. Just look for follow-up number 1. Hi, Jane, just checking in like I promised I would. What questions do you have for me? Great, there's my script. I'm going to send that to her. Change the name just like before.
Now I'll say this for us, like just so we can make it a little bit Purium specific, is there's follow-ups from the initial message, and then maybe they're not interested, and this is for another follow-up. But for people who are already interested, what I do is there's a thing called, I learned, it's called leading by the elbow, and you're leading them from appointment to appointment. So if they're interested in the product or the business, you set up the phone call, and then you never leave a phone call without setting up, hi, Eric, you're messaging me again. I love it. See, I got this big smile on my face and I'm on a call with you. Before I leave the call, I always set a follow-up appointment with them. So if they're not interested, then I know then, okay, I'll follow with them in 3 months or whatever. But if they are interested, it goes from appointment to appointment to appointment. And it's that follow-up. So there's 2 different types of follow-up.
You just want to stay in touch. Okay, so one thing, I made a mistake just now when I connected with Stephanie. I didn't set my next follow-up, so I had to look her up and put her back on my follow-ups list. So I want you guys to know, when you're doing follow-ups, always set the next one before you log it. So whenever you're going to follow up next, set that first and then log it so that she stays on your list, okay? So let me just explain how to follow up without being annoying. This is all that matters. Okay, the first thing you want to do is never ask them to do anything in your follow-up. Don't ask them to do anything. They just shouldn't have any homework. They don't even have to respond to your follow-up. necessarily. Okay. You just want them to see it. The second thing is your follow-up should always be message. They need to be able to read it. You shouldn't do voices. Now you can do voice messages and stuff with people, but when you're specifically following up after a 3-way call or after they've whatever, it needs to be messaged. Okay. And it has to be short enough they can read the whole message without opening it. Let me explain this real quick. Adina, how old is your daughter?
She's 20 months.
She's 20 months. By the way, she's doing so great right now. I can't believe it.
She's writing notes with me.
She's doing great. And you've got another one coming this month.
Yeah, in a few weeks. Yep.
Yep. So
And she has one in school.
So you've got 3 kids. So so when I message you, when I send you a message, it's very possible that you won't be able to pick it up right now and respond to it. Right? And so, but here's what's happening. When she does get a message, she still is super curious and wants to see the message. So I want her to be able to pick up her phone and see the message without opening it. Okay? And be able to read the whole thing. Now, if I send her a voice message and she's got a 2-year-old crawling up her leg and yelling because they have a 6th sense whenever you get on the phone and make noise, right? She's irritated because she wants to hear the message, but now she can't listen to it. There's just no way she could listen to it right now. She can't focus on it, so she'll have to save it for later. If the message is too long, she has to open it to read it. She doesn't want to do that either because she can't respond. She doesn't want to look like a jerk that read the message and then ignored it, right? So what I'm trying to do for her is make it easy for her to get my message. She should be able to see it, read it instantly in a quick scan and see the whole thing. All I want is for that message to get to her, because the message reconnects her to the excitement and the hope that she had in the conversation with me about the business or about the products. And even though she's too busy to act on it right now, I want her regularly to reconnect to that emotion. And as long as I can continually love her through the process and let her know I'm here for her, I'm still here, I'm connecting with you, I'm excited about the goals we set. Hey, I'm just checking in like I promised I would. Hey, I hope everything's going great. When you're ready, I'm ready. Hey, let's get you going. Every few days or every week or whatever the cadence is over time, it lets her know my level of care and professionalism. And I'm doing it in a way that makes it easy on her so that I'm never getting under her skin. What will happen is around the 6th follow-up, usually, I'd say that's about kind of like the magic number, 6 or 7 for most people. She'll apologize. She'll say, I'm so sorry I haven't responded to your messages. Thank you for following up. You're awesome. You'll get a message like that, which, by the way, when you get that, and it might take you 2 months to get that one, then you can message me and go, you were right, Eric. I was starting to worry, because you will worry when you hear nothing and you hear nothing and you hear nothing and you hear nothing and you hear nothing. You're going to start freaking out. You start making up all these reasons why she's not interested. Keep going, because you'll be shocked. Almost everybody eventually will go, oh my gosh, I'm sorry I haven't responded. And they're back on board in the conversation. This is how Teamzy works its magic. You put all your people into Teamzy. You start connecting with people. Some people are going to be interested right away. You'll fill your pipeline this month, and some people will take longer. Some people will go in, after you've invited them. Some people will convert. About 20% of the people that you invite will convert right away within the first 2 weeks. Those are the ones, by the way, you've already got. And the rest will take longer. But you keep filling that pipeline. You keep connecting with people. You keep helping people. And every single month, people close, people join. Every single month, you rank up, you hit your bonuses, and it's consistent. It's consistent and predictable. Does this make sense? So the most important thing is to get consistent. This is like your workout plan or your nutrition plan. You have to do a little bit each day. You have to get in that cadence. It doesn't work. Does it work to not work out all week and then do a 5-hour workout program on Saturdays? How does that work on your body? It wreaks havoc on your body. And the same thing can happen in your business, where it's like a feast and purge approach to building your business. It needs to just be a little bit each day. So that's why we've made this so easy. You can go do it on your phone. You can do it on your computer. Whenever you have time, you're picking up the kids from school, you're waiting in line, parked in that line of cars, you pull out your phone, connect with a couple people. So we've made this super easy so that you can fill it into your gap time, or you can get really organized and schedule a power hour and crank it out in an hour. Make sense? So we've had, just to give you guys some background, we're pretty new to Purium, but we're excited to grow with you guys. Teamzy's been around 3.5 years. We've had 80,000 network marketers use Teamzy in 3.5 years. And that has been, I mean, we do some Facebook ads, but basically just people finding it and going, this is amazing, and sharing it with their teams. So I encourage you guys, get in here and use the 30-day free trial. That's your first step if you haven't already done it. The next thing I encourage you to do is get a success partner to do the free time with. Somebody on the team, sideline, downline, whatever, somebody who's motivated. Say, hey, let's do this together and hold each other accountable. What I want you guys to do is connect quickly via like a Zoom or a phone call and say, hey, here's what I want to do for 30 days. This is the goal, the level that I'm gonna perform at in Teamzy. Hold me accountable to it. And then each day when you complete your action steps for the day, when you've done your power hour, you just take a little screen grab of that screen that shows that you finished, and you message that to your success partner. If you guys commit to doing that 5 days a week for 30 days, you're gonna have a tremendous month. Okay? If you just sign up on your own, you're very likely to tinker a little bit and not do much. And you'll kind of waste that time. The last thing I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a what I call my 5-day challenge. Okay? And I've received so many messages from people about the 5-day challenge. I'm going to challenge you in 5 days, consecutive days, no days off, 5 days in a row, to connect to 100 people over 5 days. So it's 20 a day average. It's basically what I demonstrated today. And it can be any mix of prospects, customers, or brand partners. 20 a day for 5 days in a row. Why do I want you to do this? You might not have a lot going on in your business today, but after 5 days of doing that in Teamzy, you will have so many conversations going, you might actually be a bit overwhelmed by it. I want you to see what kind of momentum you can create in just a couple days. Why do I want you to feel overwhelmed? Because maybe you feel overwhelmed right now with worry and doubt. I'd rather you be overwhelmed with opportunity. See, people think that successful people have it all together, that they don't feel overwhelmed. Successful people feel overwhelmed all the time, but mostly with opportunity, not with worry. So keep your overwhelm, just make it a positive one. Does that make sense? So I hope that helps. But you will, isn't that true, Stephanie? But you will feel more organized when everything's in Teamzy and you know that it's kind of handled for you. Do you guys have any specific questions based on what we showed you today that maybe I can help with?
I have a quick question in regards to follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
If you have somebody who, like, for example, I had a really good prospect with this guy who's a physical therapist. He trains other physical therapists. He was like about to order and something happened, and then to become a brand partner. And I've followed up with him a number of times, but I feel like I've done totally the wrong thing. I've sent these long, wordy emails, and I've gotten nothing back. So with a guy like that, like, where do I start with follow-up in Teamzy? Do I just start at number 1? Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, or you could just send them a quick message, like a regular connect message now.
Okay.
It just says, hey, it's been a while since I checked in. Just want to see how you're doing. I hope you're having an awesome day.
Yeah, when that happens, Christian, and I've told this to Adina because I've learned through experience, something's going on, and you're like, and you just message them back and be like, hey, I'm just checking in to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you.
It's been a long time now, but maybe I'll try the connect at least and just see where it goes, because he was totally into it and then just like went off the radar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you don't know what's going on. Just don't assume anything.
Could be anything.
So just what I would do is you just that's what the follow-ups kind of do, is they kind of take the send me your credit card number conversation off the table, and they just let you connect as people and let you know that I'm here and that he knows you're the person that he's going to get Purium from. Like that's there. He knows that. So now just get back into connecting and having a conversation with him. What you'll find typically is once you've reconnected with him, once the conversation feels comfortable, he'll say, I've been meaning to not connect with you because about what we talked about. Let him, kind of let him do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. That helps.
I know, like it's funny because I recently made a purchase, similar things from a direct seller that I had been meaning to do for a while. And I just got the Southwest credit card, Southwest Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody use that? So I've been waiting for it to come in because we have Nordstrom card. My wife likes to get free Nordstrom. And I was like, babe, we need plane tickets more than that. So we switched. This is a personal story, right? So I didn't want to make any purchases until I got my new card because I wanted all the miles. And so this person says to me, she starts creating objections that I didn't raise. She starts saying things like, is it a financial situation? Is it the price? Like she starts, and I was like, no, I'm just waiting for my new miles card to come in before I make the purchase.
Yeah.
So don't start assuming what it could be. Just
Right.
reconnect. Does that make
Okay.
sense? And if she had
absolutely.
just said, hey, Eric, I'm just checking in on you. How's everything? My answer would have been like, oh, great. I'm going to buy next week as soon as I get this new card.
Right.
Makes sense. And because she's a Teamzy user, I got to coach her on it. I got to coach her and her husband on, I said about being the sales prevention team. Don't be the sales prevention team. When you have the sale, stop selling.
Okay.
Once they say, yes, I want to buy Purium, you don't need to sell it anymore. You just need to be in touch until they're ready to buy.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense? Just, I'm here. So this was another example. We work a lot with Juice Plus. They have this thing called the Tower Garden. Have you guys seen these? I know you guys are into organic stuff. You can grow organic vegetables hydroponically in your backyard. Have you guys seen those? It's a really neat gadget. So I wanted to buy one of those. And so I contacted a rep that I knew that had been in my boot camp. I said, hey man, send me your link. I want to get a Tower Garden. Would you guys like a message like that?
Mm-hmm.
So he started sending me videos on the Tower Garden. I go, stop trying to educate me. I just want to buy it. Can you send me your link? Like, don't be the sales prevention team. The sale is made. Let the people buy it. So that's just something. So my advice to you, Christian, is just connect. Just be there. Just connect. Don't just be there. He knows he wants it. For whatever reason, he hasn't bought it yet. Maybe he's just busy.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you,
So Eric, I have a question.
yeah.
So I signed up back in August with Stephanie. We were accountability partners, working hot and heavy, doing our power hours. And then I fell off the wagon and I became too busy to incorporate Teamzy into my life. And so I need to totally restart this. I've continued to pay. I believe in it. I just kind of I fell off the wagon. So what's your best advice for me to get back on the wagon? And my business is growing really good right now, and I'd like to tap into all of your skills. So
okay, my biggest thing is you don't have to go into Teamzy and crush massive numbers every day. Okay? That's like, I haven't worked out in 6 months, so I'm going to go do 2 hours of CrossFit every day.
Okay.
And then you're like, I'm injured, I'm sore, I can't move. Okay? But you know what? Let me see, if you got in there and you connected with 5 people every day, so that that's 20 people a week, you've got a manageable number of conversations going, you're moving people along, you might find that's enough for you right now. Does that make sense? And so it's better to start with something manageable, but keep the momentum going. And then you can we call them sprints. Every once in a while you do a sprint. Maybe you'll do a boot camp for 3 months because now you're ready to like really go for big numbers for a little bit, but those are sprints. That's not your normal daily DMO. Make sense? Yeah. So it's better to do a 30-minute workout every day consistently for life. Okay. So what I would say to you is get back into Teamzy. Don't worry about, I know Stephanie, so you're probably doing big numbers. You guys probably doing 20, 30 connects a day or something crazy like that. Like just do 5 to 10 connects a day, just to get consistent again, start having some good conversations.
Okay. And the other thing I found as I kept getting more into these connections back and forth, I kind of got lost in how I tracked it, even though I know it's supposed to do it for it. So I don't know if that's an additional training that I need. I had printed out a bunch of things that you had sent me, and I just haven't spent the time to look into that. So, I believe in the process. I believe in, all the connections, knowing that it takes 7 to 10 before somebody actually purchases. But then I kind of thought, well, wow, I'm kind of getting lost in here, even though it's supposed to make it simple. So what tip can you give me on that?
So, when you're having a conversation with somebody, let's say on Facebook Messenger or text message, and there's a back and forth, and that conversation might last a week, right? Before it turns into anything that you're going to follow up with. That's where sometimes I could get a little bit lost. And so it's not a perfect system, but like I would just use, excuse me, my voice. I've been doing a lot of trainings lately. I just use the filter by unread. It's such a simple tool, right? But you can do it on your texts, and you can do it on your on Messenger as well. Just filter by unread. So like every, I'd have like some time, let's say on a Friday afternoon, I'd go in and I'd hit filter unread, and I'd be like, oh, I missed the last message from Stephanie. That would kind of keep me on things. If I saw a message come through and I didn't have time to respond to it, I would mark as unread, so it would stay there. So that was just kind of how I kept track of it. Now, the good news is Teamzy is your safety net. So if I'm having a conversation with you over a couple of weeks and I lose you, when you come back on my dashboard automatically, I'm back in, and that's where like, oh my gosh, I missed your last message. I'm back in the conversation now. So it never goes that long without it. That's your worst case scenario, if that makes sense. But the important thing is your good leads, the ones who are really interested in purchasing or really interested in joining, they're on your follow-ups list so that you're on top of them.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure thing. Oh, and one more thing is when you fall off the wagon, Mitzi, don't worry about catching up. Just do today's. Just get in there today. Don't worry about catching up on what you missed. Okay.
All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Sure thing. Okay, so a couple of people were asking about the boot camp. I just want to throw that out there again. My 12-week boot camp, which we do quarterly, it's closed for registration. So if there's anybody who's super serious about doing the boot camp, message me personally. I can still squeeze you in. We're in prep week until Monday. We actually start our activities on Monday. And if you wanted to do boot camp, you got to have a Teamzy subscription. So you got to go in and set up your Teamzy subscription first. And then boot camp's $297 is the tuition for boot camp. So again, you can, not trying to hard sell you on that at all. I'm just throwing it out there because somebody had asked about it. But if that is something you're interested in, we need to jump on it right now because we're already halfway through prep week and I want to get you in there. You've got a few things, got to set some goals and get your Teamzy set up before Monday. Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay. Stephanie, I will send you this recording in a little while after it renders. I'll send it to you too, Kiki.
Thank you so much. This was great. I can't wait to get back into boot camp
Thank you so much.
and grow again.
My pleasure. You guys have an awesome day.
We 4X ourselves, so I guess I need a 5X myself, right?
Hey, you know what? You already 4X'd yourself. If you 2X'd yourself now, that's 8X. So we'll go with that.
I know, but I got to beat 4. Like I told my team last night, we got 2 games and we're not losing either of them. And we went 2-0 last night. Hi, Esma, honey. How are you? Look at that cutie. She's so cute.
Taking notes.
I
God
love
bless. God bless you guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.